Hi, my name is Conservative Dad, and you can tell that because I have beef jerky, a Starbucks coffee, another coffee, the tobacco pipe, dad glasses, and a pair of pliers, none of which I put here as set dressing. They were just here, and they're always here. So today I'm going to be going through TikTok, which is an app that the kids use today. I don't know what I'm even going to find on TikTok. I'm just going to type in like woke kids and see what I find. Let's see what kids have to say today on the TikToks. Is that not a dad thing? Like every dad would say like, the Instagram, the YouTubes, the internets, the TikToks. All right, I'm gonna type in woke kids. How do I find, I don't know how to do anything on TikTok. How do I find, this is all, I'm realizing like one of the problems here is I don't know how to find TikToks of like kids that are like opposed to my viewpoint of the world. I know I can find tons of like woke young adults.
A new wave.
But I can't find kids. Like I was hoping to find 12, 13, 14-year-old kids that are just like, oh my God, you know? You know what this video is gonna become is just some old guy trying to figure out how to use the internets. Huh. Okay. Moving close here, I've got something to say. It seems like it is hard to find TikTokers, young TikTokers that are super woke. I'm sure it exists, but most of the videos I find, I just dropped my headphones. Most of the videos I'm finding are parents who are like talking about their kids who have come out as trans or like teachers who are like teaching their worldview of like trans to their students. It's like mostly young adults, like early 20s, mid 20s. Dang. It's weird to me that somebody in their early to mid 20s seems young now. So I'm not finding a lot of kids that have these perspectives. I think it's mainly parents of these kids and young woke college age students who have a perspective that's stupid and idiotic and illogical that they're trying to teach to our kids. And that's why, as adult grown-ups, we need to stand up and do something about it, but more about that later. I don't want to say that because then you're going to be like, I don't want to watch this guy. He's going to just push his agenda on me. Yep.
The first time that I realised Stormy wanted to identify as male was about 2.5.
Did the mom just say that one of her kids, her daughter, who was born a girl, decided to be a boy at 2.5? Is that what she said?
It's not he said, I want to be a boy. He said, I am a boy. And that is the difference.
So the 2.5-year-old, if I'm hearing this correctly, the 2.5-year-old said, I don't feel like a boy. I am a boy at 2.5. That can't be right. Did I hear that wrong? It's possible that I heard that wrong. This is where I legitimately get upset. This is a big, big issue to me. That I don't know how prevalent this is. I don't think it's very prevalent. That's one thing I'd like to point out. There's a lot of like conservative folks out there that have videos that they post, and it makes it seem like the whole world has gone berserk and there's all these parents that are forcing their kids to become a different gender than they actually are. Like scientifically. I don't think that's the case. Oh, hold on. I'm getting a phone call from my daughter. She's more important than you. Hey, Missy. Anyways, I lost my train of thought. Oh, so, like I do think it's a very tiny percentage of people out there, parents out there, who are suggesting to their children at an age to where the child can barely speak that they're pushing their kids into a different gender. That's a very small percentage, I think. The problem, and the reason this is very real, is because we have a generation who is seeing this stuff and it's becoming normalized. And there's a college age community out there who believe in this stuff, who think this is really important, and they're the generation that's going to become like populating the world. It's a real issue.
Before I had children, I would have thought it was ridiculous. I would have watched me and said, no, you're crazy. You're making it up. I can't remember the exact moment it switched over, but there was that point where I thought, you know what, this isn't just a phase. This is not a little girl we're looking at here, it's a little boy.
Oh my god! How old is that kid? The kid can barely talk.
My name is Stormy and I'm 4 years old. I feel like a boy and I want to be a boy.
Thank you for that. Do people sometimes call you a girl?
Sometimes people call me girl.
Do they? How does that make you feel?
Sad.
I can't remember the exact moment it switched over, but there was that point where I thought, you know what, this isn't just a phase. This is not a little girl we're looking at here, it's a little boy. He started being unhappy with being dressed as a girl, so he started being unhappy with wearing dresses. Hair clips were a big no-no.
People who judge us as parents and judge Stormy for it, I don't necessarily blame them. I don't blame people who think it's wrong and blame people who don't understand. I think there's a lack of education on it.
All I hope for is that Stormy is comfortable being Stormy, and I'm not bothered if he wants to identify back as a girl, if he wants to be some days a girl, some days a boy, or what we term as non-binary. I don't know what the future holds for Stormy, and I don't think he does.
I can't even. Like this. Here's the thing. Like, my thought was this video was just gonna be like kind of fun, funny. Like, okay, let me hold on. Okay, so this is the thing. I meant to make this a whole video where I go through a lot of Tik Toks and we all laugh together. And we're like, oh my gosh, the insanity. But this is the thing. I don't mean to make this so serious, but I realize, like, you watching this right now, you probably have a lot going on. So do I. There's a lot of things in my own world that consume the majority of my time and my mental focus. So when you hear about these issues on the news or through a YouTube video, you know this stuff goes on and it bothers you the way it bothers me, I'm sure. It's just like, how? It just infuriates me. And then maybe I'll have a talk with my wife and we'll just rant and rave. And then, you know, like, life takes over and I get back to reality. I've got to make money. We're, like, for myself, we're working on this house. There's a lot going on that consumes my time. And so I get annoyed and frustrated at seeing some of the influence that our kids have pressed upon them. Meanwhile, though, while I'm focused on myself and my own world, there's legitimate kids out there who are being influenced in ways that are really, truly destructive. While we're out working and doing our own things, our kids are staring at their phones. And there is such a normalization of insanity that's happening to our kids that we have to do something. It's difficult because there's so much else going on in our lives. I realize that, but there is a point in time which came and went a long time ago, I believe, where we have to take a stand. We have to do something about this. This is insane. Watching literally one TikTok video and I'm just like, oh my gosh. Like, I don't know, maybe we need to watch more of those every day and just put ourselves, like, in the right frame of mind that this stuff is going on and it's not okay. It's really not okay. It's sad. These kids don't have any, in some cases anyways, they don't have any sense of reality because the norm is that that's not only okay, but that's a good thing. It's being pushed upon our kids, especially if your kids are in public school. I mean, that is the norm. That is the trend. It's just bewildering to me. Anyways, it doesn't matter that I don't get it. It is happening. And it is unfortunately easier to kind of turn away from actually taking action and just instead replace it with complaining and replace it with, like, getting angry and like, man, I just can't believe, you know, we have these rants and these raves between each other, between our spouses, between, you know, we just, like, talk about it, like how bad it is. And we feel like we're doing something because we're just outraged by it. Meanwhile, we're actually not doing anything about it at all. We're not taking action because life is too busy and there's too much going on and excuse after excuse, whatever. I get it. I'm the same way, but I got to a point not too long ago where I was like, enough is enough. Everybody's sitting and just watching it happen and just being passive about it. And what needs to happen is men need to lead. Men need to stand up and do something about it. And so, if you agree, if you're like, yeah, I'm the same way. I've been passive for too long. I've been weak about this. I need to do something about it. Myself and a small group of other guys have been working to try to figure out how to take action, how to take a stand rather than sitting passively against these sorts of things that are happening. Right now, what we have going on is a few things, actually. We've been able to do some cool stuff, but most of it takes place on a Discord channel, account, platform, server. I'm not sure what the thing is called. We use this app called Discord. I had never heard of it before, but it's where we're communicating with each other, where we're actually taking practical steps to making each other stronger, better, so that we can actually go into the world and hopefully inflict some change on the world in a positive way. If you would like to join or learn more about what we're doing, I'll put a link to our Discord in the description. I'll also put a link to my direct email. You can send me an email and be like, hey, I'd like to get involved. Tell me how to do it. I've never heard of Discord. What do I do? I can walk you through it. We're just trying to collect as many like-minded men as we can to do something about this. You can't be crazy. You can't be weird. We're looking for normal guys here that are just sick and tired of not doing anything about what's going on in our world. So, if that's you, send me an email or join the Discord directly, and we're doing some cool stuff. It's a long description of what we're working towards doing, but once you get into Discord, it makes sense. You can follow along as we attempt to make some change. Anyways, that infuriates me. And that's the end of the video. What a fun video. It started out fun and then it got real bad. All right, that's the end. Thanks for watching. Join us on Discord if you're a normal guy who wants to actually stand in a room full of people who are sitting and will continue to sit. All right, thanks for watching.